Hello friends, so today we'll talk about force exerted by a jet on vertical plate or curved plates. Okay, so let us talk about force exerted by a jet. The surface may be a vertical plate or curved plate. Okay, so mainly we'll focus on curved plates. So before going to curved plate, I'll show you a single example of a vertical plate. Okay, so consider a vertical plate. Okay, and a jet of water is being sprinkled over it using a nozzle. So when water is flowing through this with some velocity v, okay, when it strikes the surface, suppose it is fixed. Okay, so when it strikes the surface, it will go in perpendicular direction to the jet flow. Okay, because when it strikes the surface, it will diverge somewhere, so the diversion would be in this direction or in this direction. Okay, so it would be perpendicular to the direction of flow. Thus the velocity of flow in x direction before collision or before striking the plate would be v, and after striking it would be 0. So we can write it down that the force exerted by the jet on the plate in the direction of jet by the jet on the plate in the direction of jet, it would be fx, that would be equal to rate of change of momentum from second law. Okay, rate of change of momentum, or say mass per second into change in velocity, final velocity minus initial velocity, or initial velocity minus final velocity, initial velocity minus final velocity. Okay, I'll explain it why I have taken this initial velocity first and then final velocity. So mass per second would be rho av. As we know, mass per volume is equal to density, and mass is equal to density into volume is equal to area into length. So when we'll put this rho al at the place of m and time and below it, so length upon time equal to velocity, so it will be rho av, and initial velocity in x direction would be v, and final velocity in x direction would be 0, so it would equal to rho av square. So it is the force exerted by jet in the x direction. Now I'll explain you why I have taken initial velocity first and then the final velocity. When force exerted by the jet is to be calculated, then we have to take final velocity minus initial velocity. Okay, and when the force exerted by jet on the plate is to be calculated, then we will take initial minus final velocity, that we have taken in this one, initial minus final velocity. Okay, now let us see the force exerted by jet on a stationary curved plate. Okay, so now I'll take case first when jet strikes the curved plate at the centers. So let us consider a plate, okay, and a jet of water. When it will strike it, then it will deflect in this direction and this direction. Okay, let us consider that it will go in this direction. Okay, it will also go in this direction, but we'll take this. Okay, now the velocity will be v and at some angle theta. Okay, So the component would be v cos theta, and the vertical component would be v sin theta. This is the velocity v. It is nozzle jet. Okay. Now here we can see that the direction of this velocity is in negative direction. So initial velocity would be initial velocity would be v. Initial velocity is equal to v, and final velocity is equal to minus v cos theta. Okay. Now when we'll find the force in x direction, it would be equal to mass upon time, mass per second, into initial velocity v minus cos v cos theta. So it would be equal to rho a v minus v plus v cos theta, and this would be equal to rho a v square 1 plus cos theta. Okay, this is force in x direction. Similarly, we can calculate force in y direction. So initially it have zero velocity in y direction, because it is moving in x direction, and velocity in y direction it will be v sin theta when it will strike after striking the plate or surface, curved surface. Okay, so force in y direction Fy equal to rho av. Initially it would be 0, minus it would be positive as it is going in upward direction, so it would be v sin theta. Okay, so it will be rho av square sin theta of negative. Now we'll talk about when jet strikes the curved plate at one end tangentially when the plate is symmetrical. So the angles would be same when it will enter and when it will exit. Okay. So here we have to notice that when plate is symmetrical, so it means that theta would be same. Theta would be same for the symmetrical. Now let us draw a curved plate. Okay, so this is a curved plate. It would be struck by tangentially. Okay, when it will strike, the velocity v would be in this direction at an angle theta with the horizontal. So we know the components v cos theta and it will be v sin theta, and as it is leaving at the same angle, okay, again it will be fixed. Okay, fixed. So it will be leaving this at same angle theta with velocity v. So it would be v cos theta in negative direction, it would be v sin theta in the positive direction. Okay, now let us see the relations for force in x direction. So Fx would be equal to rho av. Initially what is the velocity in x direction? It is v cos theta. So v cos theta minus in negative direction, so it will be minus v cos theta. So it would be equal to rho av square cos theta plus cos theta 2 cos theta. So it would be equal to rho av square cos theta. Fx, force in x direction. Similarly for y, Fy is equal to, in y direction, rho av. Initially what is the velocity in y direction? It will be v minus v cos v sin theta, minus, and again it is v sin theta. So what it would equal to? It would be equal to 0. Okay, so in this case for symmetrical there is no force in y direction, so Fy equal to 0. Now there would be another case when theta would not equal to same. Here it will be theta and here it will be phi. So for unsymmetrical, okay, so for unsymmetrical we'll see that it could be water would be strike over here with some velocity v theta, okay, v cos theta, v sin theta. Here it is leaving at an angle phi, okay, different angle, v cos phi and v sin phi, okay, sorry, v sin phi. Now force in x direction and y direction, so Fx would be equal to, it is for unsymmetrical, okay. So fx would be equal to rho av v cos theta minus v cos phi. So it would be equal to rho av square cos theta minus cos phi. It is very easy. Okay, now for y dash it would be equal to rho av square and v sin theta minus, sorry, it would be equal to plus. Okay, because it is in negative direction, so minus plus. Okay, v sin theta minus v sin theta minus v sin phi. So it would be equal to, sorry again, rho a v square sin theta minus sin phi. So this is would be the force in y direction and this would be force in x direction.